ಗುರುಜಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮಂತ ಮಹಾನ್ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳು, ಮಹಾನ್ ಪುರುಷರು ನಮ್ಮ ಮಜಾ ಟಾಕೀಸ್ಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು ನಾವು ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿರೋ ಅಷ್ಟೂ ಪುಣ್ಯಗಳ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರತಿಫಲ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಎಲ್ಲಾ ವೀಕ್ಷಕರ ಪರವಾಗಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟುಡಿಯೋ ಆಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಪರವಾಗಿ, ಸಮಸ್ತ ಕನ್ನಡಿಗರು, ಸಮಸ್ತ ಭಾರತೀಯರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ತಮಗೆ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ತುಂಬು ಹೃದಯದ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ನಮ್ಮ ಮಜಾ ಟಾಕೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೊದಲ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನ ಕೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ತುಂಬಾ ಕಾತರದಿಂದ ಕಾಯ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ವಿ ಆರ್ ವೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯೋರ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್.
ನಾನು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಬಿಟ್ಟು 32 ವರ್ಷ ಆಯ್ತು. ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ ಇಲ್ದೇನೆ ನನ್ನ ಕನ್ನಡ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕುಂಟುತ್ತೆ.
ಅದ್ಭುತವಾಗೇ ಇದೆ ಗುರುಜಿ.
ಆದ್ರೆ ಈ ನದಿಗಳಿಗಾಗಿ ಇದೇ ಮೊದಲ ಸಾರಿ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕ 4 ಸಾಲು ಕವಿತೆ
ವಾಹ್,
ಬರೆದಿದ್ದೇನೆ.
ಸೂಪರ್.
ನದಿ ಎಂದರೆ ನಾಡು, ನದಿ ನಮ್ಮ ನಾಡಿನ ನಾಂದಿ. ನಿಮಗೂ ನಮಗೂ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಬೇಕು ಜೀವ ಆಧಾರವಾದ ನೀರು. ನೀರು ಹರಿದರೆ ನದಿ, ನದಿ ಇದ್ದರೆ ನಾಡು, ನಾಡು ಎಂದರೆ ನಾವು. ನದಿಗಳು ನಾಡಿನ ಜೀವನಾಡಿಗಳು.
ಫ್ಯಾಂಟಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್. ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಈ ಒಂದು ಅಭಿಯಾನ ಏನಿದೆ, ರಾಲಿ ಫಾರ್ ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು, ಸತ್ಯವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಇದು ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ ನೆಸರಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲೇ ನೋಡ್ತಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಓದ್ತಿರ್ಬೋದು, 2030 ಹೊತ್ತಿಗೆ ಕೇವಲ 50ರಷ್ಟು ಮಾತ್ರ ನೀರು ನಮಗೆ ಉಳಿದಿರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ. ಅಷ್ಟು ನೀರನ್ನ ನಾವು ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, ಪರಿಸರವನ್ನ ಹಾಳು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಅದರ ಒಂದು ಅರಿವನ್ನ ಮೂಡಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಮಹತ್ತರವಾದ ಕಾರ್ಯವನ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ ಗುರುಜಿಗಳು ವಹಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಗುರುಜಿ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ವಿಷನ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್. ಈ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ಗೋಸ್ಕರ ನೀವು ಮಾಡ್ತಿರುವಂತ ಅಭಿಯಾನ ಇಸ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಕಮ್ಮಿನೇ. ಗುರುಜಿಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇವಲ ನಮ್ ದೇಶದ ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇಡೀ ಪ್ರಪಂಚಕ್ಕೆ ಇವ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಸದ್ಗುರು ಅಂತಾನೆ ಪರಿಚಯ ಆಗಿರುವಂತಹ ಶ್ರೀ ಜಗದೀಶ್ ವಾಸುದೇವ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೆಸರಿಗೆ ತಕ್ಕ ಹಾಗೆ ಇವರಿಂದ ಯೋಗ ಕಲಿತಂತಹ ಜಗತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಜನರಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಇವರಲ್ಲಿ ಈಶ್ವರನ್ನ ಕಾಣ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವರು ಪ್ರಾರಂಭಿಸಿರೋ ಈಶಾ ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠಾನ ಅಥವಾ ಈಶಾ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಭಾರತ, ಅಮೆರಿಕ, ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡ್, ಲೆಬನಾನ್, ಸಿಂಗಾಪುರ್, ಕೆನಡಾ, ಮಲೇಷ್ಯಾ, ಆಸ್ಟ್ರೇಲಿಯಾ ಮುಂತಾದ ಹಲವಾರು ದೇಶಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಯೋಗಾಭ್ಯಾಸನ ಕಲಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ತುಂಬಾ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಯೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ವೋ, ಸದ್ಗುರುಜಿ ನಮ್ಮವರು, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೈಸೂರಿನವರು. ಇದು ಬಹಳ ಖುಷಿ ಆಗುವಂತ ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರನೆ. ಒಂದಂತೂ ಸತ್ಯ, ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಎಪಿಸೋಡ್ ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಕೋಟ್ಯಾಂತರ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಫೂರ್ತಿ ಆಗೋದಂತೂ ಸತ್ಯ. ಇದು ನಮ್ಮ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಮೂಲ ಉದ್ದೇಶ. ನನಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಕಾಡೋ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಗುರುಜಿ, ದೇವ್ರು ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಇದಾನ ಗುರುಜಿ?
ನೀವಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
ನಾನಿದ್ದೆ.
So the problem, the human problem is this. Everybody knows that they exist, but they do not know the nature of their existence. Nor do they know the nature of the overall existence.
Correct.
So, there are question marks in your mind. When you crawled out of your mother's womb, you will see an infant looking like this. Because an infant may not be articulating the question, but if you just look at the eyes of a just born infant, the way they're looking is obviously asking, what is this, what is this, what is that, who is this, who made this, who made that? Essentially, not in thought, but in fundamental perception, they're asking the question, what is the nature of this existence? Where does it come from? So, that's all the questioning. Maybe as you grow up, you articulate the question. So essentially, you have not a bit of perception as to where you come from, where you will go, what is the nature of the existence. So when you ask this question, initially you look at your mother, maybe she did all this, but you know that's not true. Then you look at your father, maybe he did the world, you know that's not true. You look at every other adult, you know that's not true. When you ask, where did this all happen from? The childish answer that you received from people is, there is one big man up there, he does all this. Before we look at the big man, he's up only, no? Meltane idare.
ಹೌದು.
Is it true that you're on a round planet?
Yes.
because Bangalore people think the planet Earth is flat, you know. It's a round planet and it is spinning. If you look up, invariably you're looking up in the wrong direction.
Huh.
If you were in Australia, which way would you look up? Huh? I'm saying you're not on North Pole,
Oh, South Pole.
you're not on North Pole.
Okay.
Right now probably you're, I don't know, maybe 12 degrees latitude in Bangalore.
Uh-huh.
So at 12 degrees, if you look up, you're in the wrong direction.
Oh, correct, like this.
Australia is
correct,
down.
correct.
You must be an Eskimo to look up straight. I'm asking you, in this cosmos, do you know which side is up? Is it marked somewhere that this side up? So first of all, you do not even know what is up, but you know who is up. Because you're human, you think it must be a big human being. You think it's a big man. These days women are arguing, why can't it be a woman up there? But you ask a buffalo will say God is a big buffalo. Yes or no? If you think God is a big man, I'm sure buffalo is thinking God is a big buffalo. So, this is going on as a debate in many different ways. We can look at it many ways. See, you heard of Idi Amin, the Uganda man?
Yeah.
Idi Amin declared God is black. I agree with him. Because if a white man can have a white God, why can't a black man have a black God? So there is a big debate in America whether God is white or black. They tried to settle it in the last election, it did not work. But you know, these people do not know because they have not seen God. They only saw His messenger, His son and somebody else. But in India, we know God is brown. Yes, we know, because God Himself landed in India 9 times, 9 avatars, you know, 9 times God Himself. Indians are very proud of this, especially those Indians who are outside the country are very proud that God landed in India Himself. In other places, messengers, sons, but God Himself came to India. I keep reminding them, that is because God wouldn't trust Indians with anybody else. He wanted to do the job hands-on. So He came 9 times and He failed. Failure is obvious, isn't it? 9 or 10 times we can debate. So this can go on like this. Can I tell you a joke?
Is it okay?
You say it's Majaa whatever?
Majaa Talkies.
Okay. So can I tell you a joke, I'm saying?
Yeah,
Or
please.
only you should tell a joke?
No.
So this happened in New York City. An 8-year-old boy came home in the afternoon. He had a very progressive mother. Obviously she was single. And he came home and asked, "Mama, is God man or a woman?" And being a progressive person, she thought through this in many ways. All the gender sensitivities that are there in the country. Just now in the last election, they tried to settle this issue. It didn't work out like that. After much thinking, she said, "Both. God is both." Then the boy went into a lot of thinking. After much thinking, he came back and asked, "Mama, is God black or white?" Again she thought about all the racial tensions in the country, and after much thinking, she said, "Both." Again the boy went into very deep thought. Then he came back and asked, "Mama, is God straight or gay?" She again went into thinking about all the sensitivities with that aspect of life, and then she said, "Both." Then the boy jumped in joy. I got it, it's Michael Jackson." I don't know how you came to your conclusions, but every culture has made its own conclusions. But the fact of the matter is, you really do not know a thing about this existence. After all this science, we still not figured out one atom in its entirety. We know how to use the atom, we know how to break it, we know how to fuse it, we know how to make a bomb out of it. but we do not know what it is.
True.
So you've not figured an atom, but you have figured the source of creation. How is that?
Lovely.
So, the problem is this, we are afraid of not knowing. I do not know is a tremendous possibility. Only if you say, I do not know, the possibility of knowing arises in your life. Everything you do not know, you make it up and you believe it. And your beliefs only work when you are among your own kind. If you go to another place, they will make your belief systems look silly, but they have their own belief systems. You think their belief systems are silly. But the problem is, it is very silly that you cannot come to terms with your ignorance. Ignorance is a tremendous power because our knowledge is always very limited. But ignorance is limitless,
True.
isn't it?
Fantastic. Correct. Fantastic.
So in yoga, a yogi always identifies himself or herself with ignorance, not with knowledge, because we understand it doesn't matter how much you know, it is very little. What you do not know is limitless. If you identify with your ignorance, you will grow endlessly. If you identify with your knowledge, you will become a silly toad in the pond. You think what little you know is everything. In that little pond, you may be big, but elsewhere it means nothing. If you look up into the sky, you don't know a damn thing there, isn't it? It doesn't matter how many probes we send, how many rockets go, we still don't know a speck of the creation, isn't it?
Beautiful.
So, the problem is, we identify with little things that we know. Not only that, we identify with something that we do not know, but we assume that we know. So, in this assumption, we have lost our fundamental sincerity of life, that we are not even straight enough to see what I do not know as I do not know. We have to tell elaborate stories. But then all these gods and goddesses of India, you must understand this, every god that you worship in this country, Shiva, Rama, Krishna, whatever, these are all people who walk this geography. They didn't drop from somewhere. All their mothers had normal birth, normal childbirth, yes?
Yes.
They lived their life. They went through all the trials and tribulations of life as anybody else goes through. But they were untouched by life. Life did not bend them to become something else. They continued their quality of who they are, no matter what life threw at them. Because of that, we bow down to them, we worship them, not because they were a great success. When I say not because they were a great success, in the world they were not a great success, if you look at it. For example, Rama is one of the most worshipped deities in the country. You know, Ram was born in Ayodhya.
Yeah.
The Sri Lankan people came and kidnapped his wife. So, let me tell you this. I was in Nellore, in Andhra Pradesh. I was to address a large group of school children, like over 8,000–10,000 children from many schools, all between the ages of 13 to 15–16 years of age. This one 14-year-old girl, one small-looking girl, she stands up and says, Sadhguru, they say Rama walked all the way from Ayodhya to Sri Lanka. Is that practical? Or did they just make up the story? I said, whoa, you know. I said, you're only 14 right now. One day you will grow up and find a man. When you find a man, do you want to find a man that if you get lost, he will come searching for you wherever you are, or he thinks it's not practical and finds a practical solution in the neighborhood? What do you want?